famous actress and comedian once said, "I must have done something right, but I can't be as great as everyone said. So I'll just accept a third of the compliments gratefully." Would anybody like to guess who said this? It was no other than Lucille Ball. The first thing that comes in people's mind when they think about Lucy is, "I love Lucy." But life was not all about the success she found on the show. She struggled for a living just like the rest of us. Today I want to let you know about Lucille Ball and why she's the queen of comedy. I'll take you back to her early life before the camera and the lights, and we'll talk about her career and finally her legacy. But first, let's go back to her early life. She was born on August 6, 1911 in Jamestown, New York. Her parents were Henry and Desiree Ball. Henry was an electrician, and they moved to Montana after Lucille was born for his job. Shortly after moving to Montana, they moved again to Michigan for yet another job. In February of 1915, Henry suddenly died of typhoid fever. Lucille's mom, Desiree, was pregnant at the time with their second child, Fred. Desiree, Lucille, and Fred all moved back to Jamestown, New York. When they moved, Desiree met Ed Peterson, and they later wed. But Ed didn't like children. And because he didn't like children, that made Desiree place Lucille and Fred up, basically for adoption. Lucy went to live with Ed's parents, and Fred went with Desiree's parents. This left Lucille heartbroken. She was self-conscious and withdrawn from others because she was poorer than everyone else in her class. When Lucille turned 11, she was reunited with her mother. When she turned 15, she convinced her mother to let her enroll in John Murray Anderson School for the Dramatic Arts, which required her to move to New York City. Her career started when she moved to New York City. Her first job was as a model for Hattie Carnegie. She's also known because she was a model for Chesterfield Cigarettes. That is the one modeling job that got her the most success. In 1930, Lucille decided it was time for a change. She had red hair, but she decided to dye her hair blonde because she knew that her career wasn't taking off and it wasn't really going where it needed to. So she dyed her hair blonde for more acting opportunities. She had a few small parts. Her first break was in the film Stage Door in 1937, and in all she was in 72 movies. Her most famous movie, because she met her husband Desi Arnaz, was Dance Girl Dance. After 10 years of being blonde, her career came to a standstill, so yet again, to make another change, she dyed her hair red. Desi supported Lucy in everything she did. Her first main role after her career changed was a radio comedy. It was called My Favorite Husband. CBS wanted to pick up this comedy and bring it to air. Well, Lucy wanted Desi to play her husband on the show, but CBS wouldn't allow it, so they walked. They left CBS and created I Love Lucy. They had great success, and they also gained a contract from CBS, so they moved to Hollywood to film the show. They shot on Kinescope, which was expensive at the time, so they offered to take a pay cut. The pay cut brought them full rights to the show, and also made them be able to run it under their own production company, which they named Desilu Productions. I Love Lucy debuted on October 15, 1951. This show opened up for much of the success that we know her for today. This show ran for 4 seasons, and it was the #1 sitcom in the country. I Love Lucy was the best thing to happen to Lucille, who at the time was now known as simply Lucy. The show ended in 1957, but they still kept Desilu Productions. Under Desilu Production, they produced many hits such as The Dick Van Dyke Show, Star Trek, and Mission Impossible. In 1960, they divorced. They had 2 children together, Desi Arnaz Jr. and Lucy. At the time of their divorce, Lucy was 9 years old and Desi was 7. 2 years after they divorced, Lucy bought out Desi Arnaz and took over Desilu Productions with her now husband, Gary Morton. In 1967, they sold the company for $17 million. She continued acting, but she didn't really get anything popular like she did when she was on I Love Lucy. In 1971, she was the first woman to receive an International Radio and TV Society Gold Medal. Other awards she was awarded was 4 Emmys, induction into TV Hall of Fame, and recognition for the Kennedy Center of Performing Arts. Lucy was known for comedy, and despite her age, she tried to achieve life one last time. So in 1986, a new show debuted on CBS called Life with Lucy, where she played the grandmother in the show. The show earned 2.3 million, but not many viewers. It was canceled after just 8 episodes. Life with Lucy was the last time that we would see Lucy on TV except for in reruns. She died on April 26, 1989, from a ruptured aorta following open heart surgery. Not only did Lucy succeed and get everything she wanted, she had her career, she had her family, she had children, she had money, but her life was not always glamorous. She struggled just like many of us still struggle today. She went from being a shy girl to the queen of comedy. Lucy, if she does nothing else in the 6 years that she had the I Love Lucy show, people say she'd still die famous. We'll always remember her for her performance and her laughter. Everyone always has their favorite episode of I Love Lucy, so they'll never forget who she is. Lastly, we can learn from her. She was a strong woman. She let us know that we can do anything we put our mind to. But I want to leave you with one last quote that she said. She said, "I am not funny. What I am is brave." Thank you.